Welcome to the last live stream of the year in the Believe in You, the 5-year millionaire, the 5-year millionaire journey walkabout program. Not really a program because there's nothing to sell, but it is something that I'm up to and that I'm doing. So when I look out into my retirement days, I will not be eating government cheese or drinking powdered milk. But since today is the last day of the year, 2025, 26 is rolling through. Hey, hopefully you guys have had a great 2025, and that and some of the things that you're trying to accomplish this year happened, and that we're looking to a good and successful 2026. I do have goals for next year, but it's not like your standard or regular goals for your as a New Year's resolution, because I usually don't do those. But generally speaking, my aim for 2026 is to have minor goals that are benchmarks in the direction that I want to get to do more of the things that I like to do and less of the things that I don't like to do. So those are that's kind of the framework that I'll be working within. Number one of those is flying the plane more and riding the motorcycle more, plus spending a little more time with a family. I was thinking what I would talk about today, and it's some notes that I wrote. Probably within the last few days, and how do I want to finish off the year, and what is it that I want to move into 2026 thinking through. And so a lot of that revolves around the 5-year millionaire, which is where I'm going. 5 years to be a millionaire. And at that time, maybe hit retirement, or we just keep going all the way through, because I at some point I would like to, as I'm on my aviation journey, you've seen the video there, I would like to probably fly commercially. So glad you guys are here. Hopefully you guys, if you don't have plans for the night and you're staying indoors, happy New Year's. If you are going somewhere, safe travels to and from, and don't drink and drive. If you need a driver, somebody to help you get back home safely, or maybe you're the designated driver. Maybe you're that person, and so hopefully if people need you, they call you. All right, so tonight, what I want to talk about are the nine things related to related to the 5-year millionaire, but also probably this conversation is directed to men, although women could take advantage of a few of the things that I'm going to say. What you'll want to do is, as I have some things come across the screen there, remove the word man, men, or man, and put woman or woman in there. As the context of my channel and the direction that it's going, aviation, airplanes, and the 5-year millionaire, self-improvement, so to speak, it's important to know where you are in the process and where you finished up. And I started off in 2025 on January 6, 2025, losing my, I was laid off, right? But really I was fired from my previous employer, which is fine. That kind of stuff happens. And it ended up being, interesting because I really liked doing what I was doing over there. I'm in sales. I'm currently in sales. And at some point we'll talk a little bit about that, about what I do and where I do it. But I'm in outside sales. I do have a small salary and I get to earn a commission on things that I help customers with. But as we talk about moving into 26, and if we're looking at goals or resolutions or things that you want to improve or change in 26, here is something, and excuse my little weird noise there. Here is something that you'll want to consider. And I've got a couple of points, bullet points that I do want to pull up here. So we're just going to do this for now. Where is it showing up at? It's not showing up there. Okay, here we go. There it goes. There we go. All right. So most men don't fail from a lack of talent. They fail from a lack of direction. Fell from a lack of direction. Most men don't fail from a lack of talent. They fell from a lack of direction. Now, what does that really mean? What does failing from a lack of direction really mean? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory, but for those that may need a little more elaboration, I'm glad to provide that for you. Where are you going? And what direction are you going? Are you going north? Are you going south? Are you going east? Or are you going west? Where is it that you're going? We'll use a compass to plot our direction, point it to whatever latitude or longitude that we want to go. Because at the end of that, direction, there's a place that we want to end up, even if that is a checkpoint. I think we need checkpoints along the way. So for example, if you got lots of bills, let's see. These aren't necessarily lots of bills, but they're just a bunch of envelopes, and some of these are older bills. But if you have lots of bills and you want to get them paid off, okay, well, let's come up with a plan on getting those paid off. Okay, I'll take one bill at a time, and I'll use some velocity banking methods to get those paid down sooner than later. So let's find out the direction that you in particular want to go. What is it that you have your eyes and your heart set upon for your life going into 26? Because 26 for a lot of us is going to be a good year. And I've got some great things to share with you guys in a different video coming into 2026. And it's a lot of progress that I've made just over the last few months of realigning my thinking, my thought process, and my eyes and steps into the direction that I'm headed. So let's get our direction set up. Where is it you want to go? You've got to find out what's important to you and where you want to go so you end up there. You don't just want to end up wherever it is you land as if you're tumbleweed. You've got to use the power of the wind and your sail and get your sail pushed in the direction that you are wanting to go. So most men do not fail from a lack of talent. They fail from a lack of direction. Get your direction set. Your habits are the architect of your future. If you look back over 2025 and you think, okay, what were the habits that helped me? And what were the habits that hindered me Three H's. Habits helped or habits hindered. What were they? What are they? And what are the ones that propelled me forward closer to where I want to be? Maybe I didn't end up exactly where I hoped I would, but I am sure a hell of a lot closer than when I was when I started. So our habits have such an effect on us that at some point they become automatic. And you'll know they're automatic even if you just go on a fast for a few days. Go on a 2-day or a 3-day fast. Check make sure you're in decent health. But go on a fast for a few days, and it will reveal your eating habits to you in such a stark way that you'll go, you know what? I'm just eating out of habit more so than out of function and fuel. So check your habits, because your habits are the architecture of your future. You know, there's lots of different things, and being that tomorrow's January 1st, there will be a lot of people that are starting new things to create new habits. But come the end of January, that might change. But I hope whatever you start tomorrow for 2026 is something that's sustainable and challenges you to grow and improve in whatever area that you would like to. Maybe that's going to bed early or waking up earlier, going to the gym or going for a walk or whatever that thing is. Let's create some habits that will help propel you forward. So yeah, let's do that. You can't outrun your character. You cannot outrun your character. What else do you say? What else can we say about that? You just can't outrun your character. So do some things. If you have some character issues, and I'm sure if all of us took a deep dive into some of our character flaws, we could look at them, pinpoint them, and then from there we can determine, okay, wait a minute. This is not aligning in the direction that I want to go. So I am going to do the hard work and develop a better character set. Now, our habits don't develop our character. Our character creates some of our habits. And there's some overlapping, right? There's some overlapping there. Character things will be more challenging to change than habitual things. So whatever it takes for you to change some of those character flaws or adjust those character flaws, so now that they become a benefit instead of a drawback for you, let's go ahead and take care of those. So you can't outrun your character, whether it's good or bad, negative or positive. Your circle matters. If you look back on 2025, who is your circle of people that you're spending the most time with talking to online or in person or at the bar or down the road or the neighbor? Who is it that you're spending the most amount of time with? Because your circle matters. You're either going to have a circle of people around you that are, maybe they're not interested in what you're doing, but they're not throwing anchors out on what you're doing. You understand? They're not trying to stop your forward progress by anchoring you to an old life, to an old habit, to an old person, to an old thing, to an old group, to an old ideology and mindset. Changing our mindset is a benefit when we're changing our circle, because your circle matters. If our circle of people are just those that are good to talk to, but you don't talk about money, you don't talk about business, you don't talk about progress, you don't talk about health or fitness, then what do you really have? Unless they're family members, what do you really have? If you don't have any of those things that are challenging to you at a level that helps you improve your situation, improve your life circumstances, what kind of circle do you really have? You know, you can try this. Bring up a business idea within your circle. Hey, I'm going to start this thing. Some business. I see something there out in the market. Oh, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube page. There you go. We'll just start there. And just pay attention to what people are saying. Even if you did say, I'm starting a YouTube channel Oh, what's it about? What's going to be about? Oh, you want to be a YouTuber? Well, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just sharing my process, sharing my progress and my process on the 5 Year Millionaire. And I'm doing YouTube to memorialize that progress and that process. And if you go back through some previous videos, I talked a little bit about that and how I got here. And while I still have a gigantic hill to climb to get to the millionaire status in 5 years, that's $250,000, or yeah, $200,000 for the next 5 years, averaged out to get there. Now, if I just say this to a few people, it sounds out of reach, out of touch, and I sound a bit delusional. But I need more delusion so I could um, quiet the noise around me and keep my eyes focused in the direction I want to go. So there's that. Your circle matters more than you think and more than you believe. And you could test that theory out. Tell them something that they haven't heard from your mouth and see what they say. See what kind of positive input they give you, or see if they say, "Oh man, you've tried this stuff over and over and you haven't succeeded at any of it." Listen to what the people are saying around you, because your circle matters. Pain is a teacher, not a punishment. This is by far my favorite thing. Pain is a teacher, not a punishment. If we look at all of these things as data points and we look at them as learning points and paradigm shifts and fuel for the engine, pain is a teacher. If you're an athlete, if you lift weights or you run and you get to a point where there's pain, and when I refer to pain, I'm not necessarily saying bodily damage, but I'm saying, man, this is uncomfortable because I've not exerted this much energy and effort before. It's a teacher to let you know where you are. It's not a bad thing. Obviously, if you have some kind of pain that's a medical issue, go get help. By the way, I'm not your financial coach. I'm not your advisor. And I'm not really a fitness person either, but I do like things related to fitness and exercise and running and motorcycles and airplanes and sewing. Yeah, even sewing. I got a couple of sewing machines. But let pain be a teacher, not a punishment. Pain is feedback where your body's at. Now, your pain could be physical or it could be mental. Either one of those is feedback about our perceived, if it's a mental thing, it's feedback about our perceived idea of an existing relationship and what it should provide or not, or it's feedback about your physical strength and ability if you're running and you have a cramp. So pain is a teacher, not a punch. Now, pain could be a teacher also in relationships as well. Pain can be such a teacher in relationships in that it teaches you about your own biases within a given circumstance, framework, or relational dynamic. So pain is a teacher, not a punishment. If you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s or your 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, your story is not over. Your story is not over. You still have plenty to offer people around you. You still have plenty to offer life around you. But I suppose if you're into your 60s and your 70s, you just may not want to be around a whole bunch of people either. But even still, then your story isn't over, and the things that you've experienced have value in the world. So I would say get on YouTube. It's a great place to share those things, to talk about those things, and to find resonance with others that have probably gone through the same thing, or others can see it coming on the horizon. So your story is not over. What good is a life if we have all these experiences, good, bad, indifferent, neutral, positive, negative, and we don't take those things and share them and serve others with them? If you could, within your context of your circle of people, if you could take your life experiences and communicate that in such a way to somebody else that they get to bypass that pain point. That's how you can serve people. Or you can serve people with your different skill sets by teaching them how to do it. I think serving others is such an overlooked part of life that we miss out on these blessings that we receive by helping others with the skill set that we have learned and attained over time. Leave a blueprint. Hey, my YouTube channel, Jack Earlian, 5-Year Millionaire, 5YM, Believe in Yourself. This is going to be my blueprint for my future family. For my family, not my future family, for my family in the future, because I am documenting most of this stuff and the reasons why I'm doing this. And part of that is I'm going into retirement. I don't want to be reliant upon the government for my sustenance, and I don't want to eat government cheese and drink powdered milk. Leave whatever blueprint that you can. And for me, the way I've decided to do that is to record videos and post them here on my channel and archive them and use this information for future storytelling. So let's leave a blueprint. As always, you've got to act on this stuff. You can't sit idly by and just wish things to change. You've got to take steps forward, even if you don't know the exact steps to take. Okay, well, Chad, how does that make sense and how does that work? I don't know the steps to take, but I want to take some action. Okay, well, let's keep it simple. Let's say you're one that you eat 5 cookies a day. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore in 26. We're just going to eat 1 cookie a day. That's taking action. Okay, you want to have $1,000 in the bank. Okay, so then we're not going to go get Starbucks every day. But once we have once we get to $1,000 in the bank, then I've earned the right to go get a Starbucks coffee or some other thing in the day. So in all of these things, we definitely have to take action that is counterintuitive and counter-habitual to what we've been doing. Otherwise, 26 will just be a continuation of 2025, and who wants that? So for 26 for me, I don't have big goals. I have small goals. I want to finish out my private pilot's license. I want to ride the motorcycle more, maybe get a new bike that's got some other cool features on it. But I also want to get all of my debt paid off sooner than later, and I'm using velocity banking to do that. And at some point, maybe I'll discuss that a little bit more and my progress in that. But if you look up Vantastic, VANNTASTIC, you can find out a little bit more about that method of banking. Well, glad you guys are spending a few minutes with me here on December 31st of 25. That's what I got for you this evening, and I look forward to seeing you guys in 26 and seeing all the wonderful things that you guys are doing. Leave some comments down below. What are you up to for 26? What are some of the habits that you're going to work on in 26, or which one habit that you're going to work on in 26? Also, in my channel description, you'll find a quick link to sign up for my email list, which is just basically I want to have a community of people that we're moving in the same direction. Remember, we talk about the circle of people around you. I'm developing a circle of people around me that have kind of a same trajectory, and we're doing this as a group, pushing the whole offensive line forward. We're going to storm the beaches in 26. So with that, I appreciate you coming through for a minute, and we'll see you on the next one. Happy New Year.